49ers update here from Levi's Stadium ahead of the NFC Championship game. Only player on the active roster not practicing today for the 49ers is Deebo Samuel with his shoulder injury. However, I was just out there on the field. Deebo was actually running sprints off on the side, and he looked good running those sprints. I also saw him in the locker room. It didn't look like he was in pain, no extra support for his shoulder. Kyle Shanahan did say, though, that the shoulder still is hurting Deebo Samuel, although he's feeling better than he was earlier this week. The 49ers have been keeping all information beyond that close to the vest. Kyle Shanahan today did not elaborate on what the nature of Deebo Samuel's injury might be. I know that we had the report that it wasn't a fracture, it wasn't a hairline fracture that he had suffered in October in Cleveland. So that obviously is one sense of good news for the 49ers, but until we actually know more, it's a lot harder to make a prognostication for Sunday's availability. That being said, I think the 49ers right now are in a better spot than they were during the game on Saturday because they had game planned with Deebo Samuel as a central part of that plan on Saturday. And when he exited the game so early on, the 49ers had a pivot and they were scrambling. Obviously, you saw Juwan Jennings take the accidental handoff. I think that was a clear indicator that Deebo Samuel and having a receiver move into the backfield was a big part of the 49ers plan. So at least now the 49ers can plan for this, right? At least now the 49ers can orchestrate and then execute a game plan that takes into account Deebo Samuel's exact level of availability, whether it means that he's not available at all or if it means that he can be a decoy in this football game. Anything might be helpful for the 49ers, but I think the most helpful part of the whole situation is having the knowledge heading into the game. So the 49ers, who just finished up practice, can continue to plan around that and implement the necessary measures for whatever they're doing against the Detroit Lions. Other piece of news today is that Kalia Davis, second-year 49ers defensive tackle, is back out at practice. He had a high ankle sprain back in December, but now that is healed and Davis's practice window has opened. That window lasts 3 weeks, so essentially the rest of the season. 49ers can activate him from injured reserve at any time, although they're going to have to make a corresponding roster move to make room on the 53 for that. Can the 49ers use Kalia Davis? Of course. This could be good defensive tackle depth if he proves to be ready by game time on Sunday. He's explosive. They've compared him a lot to DJ Jones, who gave him that quick pass rush from the defensive tackle position. You look at Jared Goff, the Lions quarterback. He's had a rating well over 100 from a clean pocket, but the rating drops down to like 81 when he's been pressured. The rank is like his rating rank amongst all quarterbacks when pressured is number 15. It's in the top 5 when he hasn't been pressured. So pushing Jared Goff off his spot with pressure from the edge, but pressure up the middle is what quarterbacks hate the most. It's really big. Javon Hargrave had a big pressure against Jordan Love that forced a red zone incompletion on third down. So 49ers want to do similar stuff to Jared Goff, and Kalia Davis might be part of that effort. Obviously, we want as much run stoutness as possible on the inside too, and the 49ers, who have struggled a bit run defensively, I think many of the issues were on the edges against the Green Bay Packers. They're ranked number 26, the 49ers are in run defense EPA. That's what they need to clean up first, but that inside, that could always use some more bolstering against the run, especially since somebody like Hargrave is more of a pass rusher than a run stopper, right? That's why the return of Eric Armstead was so big, and he did some nice stuff for the 49ers with his 46 snaps, and he's going to be ready to go again this weekend. But they're really looking to Kalia Davis as a potential reinforcement down the stretch, and even if not, they're happy to get him back into practice. He's only in his second year. He can keep on developing for the 49ers. They really like his potential. Remember, Kalia was a middle linebacker to start his college career. You rarely, if ever, see somebody come from middle linebacker to defensive tackle. You'll see outside linebackers become defensive ends, that kind of stuff. Middle linebacker, like the stack middle linebacker to defensive tackle, that tells you a little bit of something about Kalia Davis's athleticism. It's NFC Championship game week, so a lot of the players today went to the podium. Brock Purdy was up there. Brandon Ayuk was up there. Ayuk hinted that the 49ers might really be in position to do some damage in the pass game, which is exactly what the numbers say. Kindle Vilder and Cam Sutton, the two Lions cornerbacks, they've given up passer ratings into their coverage of 140.5 and 122.0 respectively. That's not good. The Lions defensive backs, especially out on the corner, have not been good. Now the inside corner, Brian Branch, he's a rookie. He's been their best DB this year. Also leads the league in tackles, but he's only given up a passer rating of 86 into his coverage. So the Lions cover the slot well, but they don't cover the outside receivers very well. They run a ton of zone, which is why they're the #1 run defense in football, because they're really aligned to stop the run. But you can beat a lot of these zone defenses, a lot of these cover 4s with intermediate passes over the linebackers in front of the safeties. And I think that Brandon Ayuk and the 49ers sense that. Ayuk didn't say that specifically, but that's based on my study of the tape and the Lions' tendencies. And then today, Brandon Ayuk said that the 49ers are excited about their game plan against the Detroit Lions. So I think it's lining up as something where the 49ers can take advantage on a dry track. By the way, you can see the sun is starting to come out here in Santa Clara. Probably the best news of this update for the 49ers. Sun is supposed to be out this weekend. It's not supposed to be raining. On a dry track, I think the 49ers can expose Detroit's pass defense, and we'll see if on the other side of the ball, the 49ers can slow down Detroit's run offense and their pass offense, because the 49ers defense has actually been the unit that's struggled more down the stretch run of this season. Probably ever since losing Talanoa Hufanga in Week 11. We can draw back the 49ers struggles to then. EPA per play since Week 11, number 22 for the 49ers defense. From number 5 before Talanoa Hufanga's injury to number 22 after that. So a lot of really, really interesting dynamics entering this game, but I do think that it's going to be an offense-first run to the championship for the 49ers. They're going to need that offense to lead the way. Obviously, you want the entire team and you want complementary football to be something that is a hallmark of what you do, but even in the context of complementary football, you've got to have a unit that leads the way, takes the flag, leads the way, and I do think that it lines up to be the 49ers offense in this NFC championship game, especially considering the weather. First time I've seen blue skies here in Santa Clara for a while. I've been in San Francisco yesterday. There were some blue skies. I'm sure there was some down here, but between last week and the game on Saturday, it's been a lot of gray skies and then rain here at Levi Stadium, and the 49ers are certainly happy that there's no more of that in the forecast here leading up to the NFC championship game. One little funny anecdote from the facility today, since I like to give you guys a lot of the intel. Kyle Shanahan was talking about Juwan Jennings, who Valentine, the Green Bay corner, who Juwan Jennings just destroyed him and ran him all the way into the table and the Gatorade jug on the sideline. Kyle Shanahan says that Juwan Jennings has been doing that kind of stuff in practice ever since he joined the 49ers in 2020. And it got so bad last year that the 49ers defense, their DBs especially, wanted to fight Juwan Jennings. They tried to fight him in practice. I guess the cooler heads prevailed, but it just goes to show you that the 49ers have an absolute dog in Juwan Jennings, and that's the kind of guy that you want on your team entering the NFC Championship.